You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show.
Nobody knows where they lie.
Oh, here we go.
I'm trying to give like a house beat. The house remix. Oh.
I was ready for the O's.
Hey, AfterBuzzers, Bingans for doing, and welcome to another Grey's Anatomy After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. We are back from a little hiatus. So good to be here, and welcome back everyone to the studio. Kellie,
Hey, yay!
I know we missed you, Kellie. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages.
I know, it's been so long.
She's like, I know.
She's back.
I
She's
missed
like,
you guys
yes.
too.
Yes,
We had the hiatus, and then I had to miss, and now Julie's not here.
Julie's
I feel like
gone.
we're incomplete.
You know, God, what kind of professionals are you?
Yeah.
I know.
I depend and rely on you guys for my sanity weekly.
You were not there when I left.
You're right. I wasn't. So here we are. Grey's Anatomy tonight was,
It was just okay.
it was just okay. Oh, by the way, hey everyone, I'm Jason J. Carter. Hi. Hi.
And I'm Starr R. Hello.
And that's Kellie O.
Woo.
And engineer in the house tonight is Mr. Martin.
Hi, everyone.
Great
all.
hair, Martin.
Thank
Great
you.
hair.
Looking
God.
good.
Jason.
Yeah, you were off the hook tonight. Tonight's
Love you
episode
guys.
was called Idle Hands. Yeah. That was the name of a movie, too, back in 90-something. I remember seeing the Idle Hands. It was like a horror flick. But
With Devon Sawa, right?
what are you? Just a Wikipedia of all kinds of wonderful
Like
things?
movie
Kel?
buff.
Yeah, I've got like crazy random movie trivia.
Good for
in my head.
you. Good for you. So tonight's Grey's episode was last week. Again, I stand by my conviction that they always dupe us with the promotion for next week. Next week on Grey's, we find out the sex of Meredith's baby. Like she's like falling out, and then none of that really happens in the show. It's just like, of course we watch because we have to, but I'm drawn in with the previews. However, I think they need to stop with the duping and just keep it real. And be like, next week on Grey's, it's gonna be boring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can tell with the next week we're going to figure out the sex. How exciting is that anyways?
Well, and then it's like the last 4 seconds of this show.
Yeah. They were stretching a little bit just to get the show going. Reaching, exactly.
There were some cute patient stories, and the teacher with
Yes.
the students, and the little cancer kid, because you know everybody always has cancer.
Kellie's always got to stick up for the patient.
Well, last week
Everybody
was a
was
filler episode. I felt it wasn't that great. This week was a filler episode.
Yeah.
It wasn't that great. Next week looks
Something's
good.
coming. Like Julia said last week, something's coming.
Something's
and you're
coming.
right, Kel. Everyone needed, again, cancer is, the way to go.
Well, I think they have to set it up because there's the big change. So the last week's episode, they've got to figure out if they're going to accept Avery into the group or how is this hospital going to work and all of that. So it was a very kind of corporate style episode.
Right.
It was a different kind of drama.
They don't waste no time with that rebranding, though. They
I
had.
know. When this episode started, I was like, wait, what happened? I just watched last week's episode and I don't remember it being, how far ahead did we jump?
Months, but I think it's the dumbest name ever. Grace Sloan Memorial Hospital. Why couldn't they name it like Lexmark or something that has like power? I don't know. Great. Welcome to Grace Sloan Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, they rebranded everyone. Everyone has new suits on, new jackets.
Grace Sloan underwear.
Yeah, then the big unveiling of what's behind that sheet, and it was very unexciting when it comes down to the big unveiling of the name. It just
Right.
wasn't
Avery
that great.
was like, no, they just left it out there from painting. Here, there you go. Boom.
Move on.
The end.
Still, the best part about it, were the coffee sleeves.
Well, coffee sleeves are imperative, especially when you have a hot warm beverage.
Especially when you're in a hospital and you're working long hours.
It's important to have the coffee sleeve so your hands don't burn. Those are very important hands.
Yes,
Don't knock the
those are
coffee
$15 million hands.
They are.
You know, you can't have them going awry. So let's get into the show.
Yeah.
We start with these in medicine nowadays. The wave of the future is robots doing surgery. I mean, the medical profession's one profession that's always going to be around because you can't. I mean, you need people to work on people and to cure sickness, etc. But they're finding more efficient and cutting edge ways to save people. And tonight they intro the low doc machine. And a couple of seasons ago they had the Da Vinci, which Bailey dubbed him Leo after Leonardo da Vinci. And my mom actually works in surgery, and they use Da Vincis as well, and they're amazing machines and surgical equipment. Tonight they got a low doc which can scan the whole body in what
13 seconds.
And why they were counting, and it was like, oh, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
Well, the whole episode, they couldn't figure out, like, who's going to get in the machine and test it out first. You know, no one really got to go into the machine until towards halfway to the end. And they were like, we bought this money. And Avery was a little upset about it. You know, like, we spent a ton of money just to watch it, and we have to see it. But when they finally did it, the countdown was really dramatic.
Yeah, it was like New Year's Eve all over again.
Yeah.
Well, anyone that's ever had an x-ray before, you have to have something x-rayed. It takes about 17 times to get... When I broke my ankle, it took literally, they had to x-ray my foot 500 different ways before they figured out what was wrong.
Right.
So this would be awesome.
Or
One
MRI.
Time, lay down, done.
Yeah, and then they're like, don't move. You moved. And I'm like, wait, I didn't move.
Start all over, and then with the beeping.
Right, and then no, true story. So
why are we all in the hospital so much?
I know.
Yeah, I'm like, we all had this experience.
When I had my back surgery, they put me into the MRI machine, and it felt like I was being put into a coffin because you go into this, and I panicked. I was like, get me out of here! 6'2", 33-year-old buff male having a meltdown in the MRI machine. They laughed at me, and I was like, I'm very sensitive right now. Do not.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for that one.
That would have been awesome to be there for moral support.
For moral support, yeah.
Not at all. I would have been laughing.
Hold my hand. But, you know, and not to just call out some of the Grey's writers, really, this is what you guys base the whole show around is a machine.
Well, that's where they're putting their money. You know, it's kind of a little ironic. You know, they have all this money. They started this new hospital. They're spending all this money on branding and a new machine. So it's just kind of like, where did the money really go? You know, but I guess the machine is going to work out in the end. So
yeah.
Well, it shows from a marketing perspective too, because the whole thing with the Pegasus coming in and what they were all about, right? Was that what that was, right?
No, yeah.
Okay, I was like, did I have that wrong?
No,
but no, the
right.
way that it all was, this is showing the different side that now that these guys are all on the board and they have to think about these things, and I think it's things that people don't think about all the time. You have to spend money on branding and all of those things in order to attract people to your place so you can continue to make money.
Right.
And it's boring, and it's, you know, it's not what we're used to seeing. And I wonder why they felt the need to show all of that. Like, I'm wondering, like, where it's going to lead to. I'm hoping there has to be a reason for that, because yeah, we get it when you're, you know, starting a new business and redoing all of that. Yeah, we need to know all of that, but what's the end? I want to see some.
Well, the end result, in my opinion, is that they are having this new hospital, but they're redoing it. They have when they check in the patients, they have this new technology with their iPads. You know, they're just showing that they're moving forward, and it's not going to be this horrible progressive way of, like, they're a forward-thinking hospital and it's run by doctors.
The thing that's really just not sitting well with me about the last couple episodes, though, is that Grey's normally has been such a deep dramatic. Just so many emotions are running through this show that I think are being thrown out the window now. It's very technical now.
I wanted to cry. I haven't cried in a long time.
It's not giving me anything to sink my teeth into. It's like, oh, great.
You didn't want to cry when the teacher found out she was dying and all the students came in. Come on.
Because I've seen that scenario before where she needs a Whipple. Seriously, like. Really, it's the same.
This is different. This is a woman that was in the hospital alone. She didn't have any family, anybody there with her. I mean, so we don't know. Maybe she seriously was just alone, and her family was these were the kids.
No, I got
and
that.
having to leave that, and they were really upset. They came to visit her. They made her posters. I mean, come on. That
Okay,
was
well, let's talk about it. The patience. Kelly, I'm right there with you. I'm not a heartless bastard.
You
I
are
promise. AfterBuzz, I do have a heart.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's attached to a Starbucks card you can drop off at my place of business. Kidding. No, but I do. I did. That was the way Annette O'Toole. She was the guest star. We know her from being Clark Kent's mom on Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Yeah, she thought she had gallstones, but lo and behold, they laparoscopically go in, minimally invasive, go in and try to take out the gallstones. They found that she has a mass. Another term that's used in Grey's all the time. It's a mass. It's a hematoma. It's a melanoma.
At least you're learning, and they're like instilling, making sure you know.
I can
going on.
I can do surgery.
Really?
I can do a Whipple.
Wow.
I can resect a tumor. From watching Grey's over the years, I'm dope. I should have my PhD. They call me. I don't know. I'm mixed something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that patient story was really sad tonight with the kids, and she says, this sucks. She was great, and then we also had the little girl who was riding her bike, and she had a major head injury. What did I miss with that one, ladies? The dad's irate.
Basically, they were on a bike ride. She gets off the bike, and she was wearing a helmet. And when she got off the bike, took off her helmet so she could take a picture or something. I don't know. You can tweet us right now and let us know what she was really doing. And then she got hit by another biker, I believe.
On a
bike path.
From the way she looked, I thought she got hit by a bus.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, it could have been a car. I might have missed that, but it could have been a car or a biker. It was she got hit by something, and the dad was freaking out because he was with her. They've been riding since she was a kid, and she always had a helmet on, and I think he just felt responsible and was just overprotective.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to handle his fears, so he got angry instead.
Yeah, and he was a little intense. I was
Crazy.
like, what is going on? Like,
Yeah.
pull it together.
Yeah.
Right, poor Ross. I mean, that intern. I think Ross is one of the most likable interns.
Yeah.
On the show this season. He's more likable than some of the girls.
Agreed.
And he's just trying to do right by everyone, and he's a little bit too by the book for me. He's a little not boring, but I don't know, something about him. I mean, I like him, but something about him is just not. He's just not fun.
You nailed it. Yeah, he's like by the book. He's not fun, and he goes by procedure, and he wants to learn, and he wants to do it right.
He's like the Black Yang.
Yes.
Do you feel
He's
like
a blang.
Well, do you feel like
like
that
that
they're
one.
attempting to kind of do what they did with the original interns when they first started, and all the process of them learning how to talk to patients and how to do all of these
Of course.
things?
Are you
Yeah.
saying,
But-
are they using the script from years ago? Yeah.
Man.
Well, no, but I mean, it's not as interesting maybe to us because we already saw it happen.
Yeah.
And it's not as dramatic as it was the first time around. So you think it's kind of like split in half?
I think so.
Because the focus is now on these two sets
Entities.
almost
Right.
at the same time before, when it really wasn't.
Right, Kelly, you have a really, really good point. The thing is that when Grey's first started, it was the interns and Bailey and the chief
Right.
Yeah.
and Addison. And then now it's the veterans, the attendings, these interns, Owen, the chief. Well, it's
The whole hospital itself is a character, and everything going on with
koozies, everything. It's just so much going on. I think for the interns, for this show to really elevate, if I was writing this show, I would make something bad happen to the interns too. I would give them more life. It's like they're the aftertaste. We have April and the veterans who are like the Diet Coke, and then you have that really weird aftertaste after you sip it. That's the interns. I would love for the interns to also have more of a more juicy storyline. The show is doing an excellent job interweaving them in between the veterans, but I would love for them to have their own something.
It's true. I mean, but
spectacular.
Right, but I think the interns do have their own storyline, and they have kind of more of the interesting storyline anyways than the board and the rest of the hospital. I think their storylines are kind of what makes us come back. Like, I want to know what's going on with them, but I don't think there's anything big that has happened that has made it
Right.
like,
That's
boom.
it. There hasn't been.
And it's so funny because I feel the opposite. I can't even remember what they're doing, and I'm so disinterested. And those,
Or
and
that.
I don't know why. And I don't know if it's because I'm just loyal to the original ones, and that's where kind of my attention goes.
Brand loyalty.
And I just don't feel like, I think they do have some interesting stories, but for me, it hasn't developed enough. I feel like I want a little bit more to it. I mean, how did what's her name get the marble? What is the deal with the marble?
Right.
Let me see the marble. Like at least something like that. Like there's nothing.
Nothing.
Aside from the wedding episode where there were kind of had some like drama in there, I don't really care that much.
It's almost like, when in doubt, add an intern in there, you know, or their storylines are just very. I feel like when the interns are trying to be, you know, intense and trying, you know, they have the music and it's like, you know, before they go to commercial, you know, they always have these dramatic pauses like, and then commercial, you know, or it's just so dumb.
Where is Stephanie?
Stephanie, actually, she's getting more romantic hair this week, so they're pressing and curling it so she can come back, because apparently they got our memo. Shauna got the memo about making the interns look hot because they're getting better and better looking.
Minus the lesbian haircut. I'm not really into that haircut. It's killing me.
It's called it's a pixie. We can't call it lesbian.
Sorry. I don't want to offend everyone out there. I love lesbians. I'm just saying the haircut is like to that.
She's like minus the Ellen DeGeneres haircut.
Yeah, it's just like no.
Yeah, but she, you know, she had long hair. Then boom, next week she's bald.
She said long hair. I don't care. Snip.
Yeah, she probably pissed off. Shauna's like, I got something for you.
Yeah, like what? I want to know if she's like booked another movie or a show. Like, what was the point? You know, like there had to be something.
Well, they're trying to give him identity.
Oh.
Maybe
that's her thing. I don't know. She always has something quirky to say, something that doesn't really fit.
Or a quirky look on her face.
And it's just, where does that go? What's going on with that?
I really love seeing Meredith in this episode. One of the reasons why I really adore Meredith Grey as a character on Grey's is because throughout the years she's been through it, and Meredith, just her whole storyline is so beautiful, and everything that's happened to her, and the way her comedy and her comedic timing, and
what?
I think Meredith's very funny.
I agree, but last week you were saying her storyline is a hot mess right now.
No, I'm talking about throughout the course of Grey's.
Oh, okay.
Not this season. That's what I'm saying. This episode, I really liked Meredith in this episode because
just clearing it up for our viewers.
She was funny. She was funny. She got back to being the old school Meredith a little bit. Yeah. You know, with all her one-liners and just, you know, her and Christina's banter.
Gray cloud over her head. Yeah. I think my favorite line, how's the baby? Oh, not moving now, probably dead. That was really my favorite.
Because everything has happened to this girl. She stuck her hand in a cavity with a bomb. Her mom died. Her mom hated her. Her dad's an alcoholic. Her sister died. She almost died twice. You know, so she's like, you know what, laugh it off.
Didn't she get blamed for killing her dad's wife in the hospital?
Right, and she got slapped by her dad at the hospital before he threw blood on her. I mean, just, you know, poor thing.
Yeah, but it's about her, so she has to have the most. She has to have the most crazy things happen to her. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, the only thing that I don't think is really cool about Meredith is her fashion. I feel like
she's always in scrubs.
No,
tonight she was in that button down with the belly bump.
That's right.
Collared shirt, V-neck sweater, or cardigan.
Yeah,
I've never seen Meredith.
Giving you mom.
Meredith did look good in some of the weddings, but I've never seen her like sexy. Yang has been sexy. Yang has shown some sides for that.
You were into Yang tonight. You were like,
he's always into Yang.
You have little Asian babies. You know, Yang is amazing. I love me some Sandra. Oh. So, Bailey. Guys, is it me or is Bailey forever asking for money?
Why is she annoyed? She annoyed me so much.
She was very annoying this episode. I don't know what's going on with her.
Binders and chasing people down with binders.
She's always asking for something. The last 4 seasons,
I like her better mean.
And not caring.
Yeah.
You know? And she's another person that got her hair right, finally. Mm-hmm. You know? They prettied her up, but always asking for money. Every season, it's either for stem cell research, a clinical trial. Funding for something. You know, she wants to save the whales. And she always goes about it the same way. Okay, here's my proposal. You know, I'm asking you guys for money because I'm Bailey and you're going to help me.
Yeah.
Well, because you're the boss and I have to. I don't even like it. I don't even like you. This is what I've got to do.
Bailey has never ever, she's always next in line to be the authority, and she always gets like discontinued. Like, no, thank you. Psych.
You gotta give it up to Dr. Russell though. He was pretty slick about the way he did it.
Right, asking Christina for money, and I thought, I mean,
I was following the story. I was like, oh, she gets to get on this really great surgery. Yeah. She's doing all this great stuff.
Okay, so fill me in. How you think it all came about?
So Yang goes looking for him. She wants to work. She's bored. She's tired of the board stuff. So she goes looking for Dr. Russell. He starts, while Bailey's trying to pitch her this for funding, and then he starts talking to her about his clinical trial and what was it, his Lotus something that
Right.
he was doing, and invites her to come in, and she doesn't get that he's actually pitching her. She thinks that he actually wants her on his service to do this trial. She goes in, she takes part in it, he lets her do it, and then he asks her for $12 million.
For funding, because they're board members now. They can make decisions in regards to where the money goes.
Yeah.
Which was weird to see, because I thought he was asking her for her own, like, can you cut me a check for $12 million? You got it.
Yeah, I forgot that they're like on the board
Yeah.
and they make
Yes.
decisions.
Right. And so Yang was like, she handled it very well. She could have been really upset about it, but she thought, you know what? I am in charge, and I can make decisions. And so she tells him, no, you're not going to get the money.
Right. No, she's like, you know what? I'm gonna take it away from you, and I'm gonna take away your money, so you have to put me on your service.
Right.
Because I'm in charge, and the board feels you can handle it.
There you go, Yang.
loved it.
Bam.
Boom.
I love it.
What? Don't mess with Yang, dude. She'll go ninja on your ass real quick.
Yeah.
So, moving on, we come to a very
Drama.
touching and very personal moment with Kellie and Arizona that really just hit a chord with me, because one, I'm so sick of seeing Arizona just mope around. Okay, Sweetiekins, Love Bug, you lost a leg. I know. You lost a leg, Arizona. And I think it's really great how CGI, they can make her like not have a leg,
Yeah.
you know, and make
Oh,
it look
I
real.
know.
It's so cool. It's like, you better work.
Yeah, I want to see the secrets behind. I want to see like a behind the scenes secrets.
Oprah's next chapter. Behind the scenes. But Kellie, you know, they haven't had sex. I guess they're not. That's always a recurring theme with them. No
It's getting
sex.
kind of old.
Yeah.
That storyline needs to progress a little bit.
Have some
Well,
sex.
it did progress a little bit tonight. And the thing about it is, it's not really about the leg, about
Right.
her losing the leg. It's about not feeling
Sexy.
attractive.
Well, they gave her
That's
some.
the problem. She doesn't want Kellie to see it. She doesn't want to show. It's like, if you don't feel good about yourself, you don't want to be naked in front of
I
somebody. You don't
agree.
want somebody looking at you, touching you.
Oh,
And the
totally.
hard part about
I
it is,
feel that.
she's in pain, and she needs somebody to do that. And her, you know, her wife happens to be the right person to ask, and she can't bring herself to show
Sure.
her ugliness to the way she feels about it.
So
she's
she-
just uncomfortable. So she
Right.
tries to hide it, throw on a high heel to try to help make herself feel sexy, and she's hurting herself.
Yeah, she throws on those pumps and
Those
and
Louboutins.
Callie's
throwing
like,
on
look
the
at her
Louboutins.
badunkadunk. Doesn't it look good? How
Yeah.
awkward.
Awkward.
Like, who goes into work and like, look at my wife's badunkadunk?
All night I was thinking like,
really?
it didn't even sound right. Like what?
Like, well, heels. It's true. When
Well,
ladies
she's-
wear heels, it gives your bum a
A
little bit
lift.
of a lift.
It
Right.
does.
So,
I mean, when I wear
Wasn't
heels.
she into
Right.
it? Didn't she turn around and shake her
Yeah,
butt and
she
everything?
twirled,
was,
girl.
because she felt sexy.
Yeah,
She
she
was
needed
gone
to
with
feel
the wind
sexy.
fabulous.
And like, you gotta give it up. She was walking in heels with, you know, without any issues with your feet or legs hurts anyway.
Yeah.
So that has to be horrible.
I
do
know
that.
that all too well. I mean,
Okay.
my stilettos, bam. But right.
But
no,
after a while,
Haven't
like,
you seen Sarah Jessica Parker's feet lately? Like running around, just horrible.
Looks
Like
like
they
her
mess
face.
up your feet.
yeah, they do.
Sarah Jessica
So-
Parker's face and her feet. is the
Stop
same
it.
thing.
But that,
Aww.
stop.
Just
And that's the thing, is I don't think she's so much dealing with the whole I lost my leg, I'm sad for me, all that.
Right.
It's more so I want to feel good enough
and I
to
got
be
that.
in
I got
lingerie
that.
with you.
But what I was saying in my lower tone of voice was that when Kellie finally was able to get through to her. Well, we'll touch on that. But back to the hills and, you know, my wife's badonkadonk and stuff like that. First of all, okay, I have issues with the hills. Get her some red bottoms, some Louboutins. At least get her some expensive heels. There you go.
Okay.
She's not a
Secondly,
millionaire anymore. She gave all her money away.
they can afford some Louboutins. Secondly, yeah, it was kind of awkward. Kellie, I don't know if Kellie. She's like, yeah, look at my woman's badonkadonk.
She's the man.
Yeah,
She
dude.
wears the pants.
Yeah, I was like,
That
No,
moment
you know
happened.
what was awkward when the chief was like, "That's a real nice gluteus." No.
He went all doctor on her about her
Yes.
butt.
yeah,
No.
weird,
Buttocks.
just weird. But it's comedy. Great. That's great writing. And see the way we're talking about it now. Obviously, it's effective because if
Yeah.
it wasn't anything, we'd be like, okay, it would have been a mess. But yeah, it was just a little bit too much for me. And Kellie, I agree 100% with you as far as what you're saying about it's not about the leg. I understand because I had an In-N-Out burger the other night, and I didn't feel.
No, you did
I
not.
didn't feel sexy either.
You didn't feel
After
good.
that.
If you would have put on some heels and went to In-N-Out Burger, maybe you would have felt a little bit better.
Well, could you imagine me eating an In-N-Out burger with some heels on? Can I get a double animal style?
Why could I could imagine that.
Some swingbacks.
Just saying.
But you're saying that she didn't feel sexy, and I agree
I'm
that
not saying anything anymore.
that it's hard to, when you don't feel sexy, it's hard to be intimate with someone, especially that closely with someone.
And I think that she's using the pain and all of that stuff, so she doesn't. And I think that's what Kellie was feeling, is that you say yes, and then you think about it, and then you renege on it, and then so you take back, and all of a sudden you have all these excuses on why you can't do it.
Well, I mean, when they kicked Bailey out because they were having sexy time talk, they should have closed the door, locked it, and the sexy time should have been right then and there, not later that night. Like,
I wonder, you know, a lot of sex goes on in the new Gray Sloan Memorial Hospital. I wonder if that really happens in real hospitals, though. Like, do they have an on-call? And then, you
would think if they work that much, where else could it happen?
Yeah, they can't go out and meet different people. They gotta sleep with the people they work with.
Gotcha. Weird.
Just saying.
Weird.
But they should have, they should have closed the door and did it right then.
Yeah.
That was just my... Everyone else has sex in that hospital. Why not?
Well, I like that she finally kind of broke through that a little bit and allowed Kellie to be there for her in the way that she's been wanting to, and felt like she couldn't be.
That's her woman.
And you know, right now I'm the doctor, which could be kind of sexy in itself.
Sure.
Like, it doesn't have, you know, just kind of close your eyes and let it happen.
Well, she said, you know, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. Like, I know. And she
know what I'm doing.
She thought she was going to adjust the leg, but nope, she pulls it off and is like, and she's like, you know.
She gets teary-eyed.
But that's hot, though. You know, I can identify with that, because when you love someone, you see through everything. It doesn't matter. You love them for all their. I always tell my hubby, you know, I take the good with the good, because it's all good. You know, even when it's bad, and you know the little things that irritate you about someone, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because you love that person regardless. So I'm glad that with Arizona and Kellie, I honestly feel that way, because it takes a lot to love somebody unconditionally. You know, people go through relationships, and even on Grey's, we've seen so many different relationships, and people date and stuff like that. And in real life, when you finally find someone that you get, and you wake up one day and you're like, wow, I really love this person, it's such an awesome feeling. And I get that with Kellie and Arizona. Yeah,
their relationship is really strong. You can definitely tell.
It's one of the strongest ones on the show.
But it's getting kind of boring, so they need to kind of have the sexy time and
keep it moving.
Move on.
Yeah. So hopefully they had it tonight, and now we're gonna get past this part, and it's gonna go to the next level.
Next week on Grey's.
They had the sex.
Now maybe it'll move from in the house to in the on-call room.
Yeah.
And be hot and happy.
Thank you.
How are we feeling about Karev and Joe and the Dr. Wyatt situation?
Well, the new patient, which was a little kid, he also had cancer.
Of course.
Of course he did. And, well, when it came down to it, he had a little crush on Joe, which was super cute. And he did not like, what's his name, Mr. Dr. Wyatt in the pink scrubs. I call him pink scrubs. Isn't he always in pink scrubs?
Yeah, because he's an
gynae
OB,
doctor.
Yeah.
He's a gynae doctor.
Pink scrubs, yeah. And so the little patient definitely had a crush on Joe, and so Karev saw that too and used it as an opening to prank Dr. Wyatt, pink scrubs, and that was the best part of the episode for me.
That was cute.
It was cute, but Chief Weber, you know,
he's bored. What else is he gonna do?
What is it?
Surgery?
Not in surgery.
Not
save
in
a life.
Surgery. No.
It's always a great day to save lives.
He's always in the corner like this. He's always has his
Derek's
arms crossed. He always has his arms crossed in the corner, and he's always like,
He can have a little fun.
He's that employee.
He was the chief for such a long time.
Right.
He needs a break.
He's that employee that's worked for the company for forever. That thinks they can do whatever they want. At my regular day job, there's this woman who's been with the company for 25 years. I swear this girl is forever on lunch. Every day. It's like, I'm on lunch. It is 9 a.m. She's like,
I've worked here the longest. I'm on lunch.
She's got HR on speed dial.
Yes.
But that's the chief pranking people, and he's so predictable now. I expected more from you, and he's all, you gotta do it this way. Like, really, you're like 60. Grow up, dude.
But his pranks were better because when Karev was pranking, I didn't realize Karev was pranking until a little ways into it. Because when he was showing up, like, did anybody page me? Did anybody? I didn't realize that it was coming from Karev. And then once I figured it out, I was like, that's kind of cute. And then the chief was like, let's step it up a notch. You know, he thought he got caught, but then he realized the chief was like, let's step it up. And what was the page? Genitalia?
Genitalia.
No, that was the one. That was the
Genitalia?
one before. That was the one he did before, and he thought it was too low level. So he's like, let's step it up, and that's when he did the drug testing.
Yeah. I love genitalia.
Genitalia was funny.
Call my friend Genitalia at 911. She'll pick up. But this is the second time this season they've done that, where the prank, that's an ongoing thing on Grey's this season, the prank with Pegasus.
Get punked.
Oh, yeah.
These names, Pegasus is going to come. Pegasus is such a wonderful mythical creature. And this episode, and this season makes him like it's like the devil, Pegasus, unicorn apocalypse.
Well, even Bailey made reference to this. What happens when doctors get bored? So there's not a lot going on over there right now.
No. Meredith is going through it, as we can see on the screen. Her and Christina Yang are always, having banter about life. And the way they talk about things is just so, like, yeah, my arm got cut off today. Oh, well, Owen choked me again. So, not a big deal. Talk to the baby. Meredith thinks that her baby is going to have 5 heads, 3 legs.
And she's like, talk to it.
How do we feel about pregnant Meredith?
I actually like her because she's so uncomfortable about it. And I think that that's cute. Because she doesn't ever have anything good that happens and she can't handle it.
Well, she says it. She says bad things always happen. So I just want to be able to expect the worst when it does happen. And so the whole episode about like maybe the umbilical cord is wrapped around the neck, it was like a little morbid, like your child is inside your belly and the baby bump, it's not looking so good on her. It's like either too low, too high, or just doesn't fit right.
She's not a cute pregnant like Beyonce was.
No, that was fake. But okay.
But
just saying.
Boom. The thing about Meredith, another reason why I adore Meredith so much is because I too am like that. I always think the plan for the worst. Never expect the best. Always expect the worst. Plan for the worst, because when you're living on your own, or when you're young trying to do things, you have to stay afloat. I mean, thank God my mom didn't have Alzheimer's, or I wasn't, things that haven't happened to me that have happened to Meredith. But Meredith is very relatable. I think she's one of the most relatable characters on Grey's. You could see yourself. I can see myself knowing someone like Meredith. I mean, I would be so honored to know a surgeon. I don't know very many doctors, but Meredith's personality, I think she's very relatable. As far as her being pregnant, I think this is the only thing they could do. This is what else could they do to evolve Meredith?
Aside from killing her, I mean,
right?
Like really,
what's the next natural progression?
She's through the loss of parents, siblings, almost her husband. Like there had to be something good. There had to be.
Yeah, I would have loved to have maybe Derek leave her.
He already did.
No, but like for good. Like it'd be done.
Well, that's the thing. But Derek left her. Christina left her. She's already been left so many times. Like we can't leave Meredith anymore. She needs a little bit of a happy time, even if it's just for a second.
Just to be a little bit morbid, maybe the baby will come out with some defect. I don't know. Maybe that'll bring the twist. I'm not trying to be morbid, but she needs something in her storyline.
The baby will be black.
Like the baby will be black, or
it'll be a switched at birth.
Yeah,
it'll be a Malawi baby.
Yeah, maybe it'll have like jaundice or something. I don't know. Like something's gonna has to happen with the baby. It needs something with the storyline. Is that too morbid?
No,
you guys are like no.
Well, no. The thing is that you say that, but we've come to expect. That's one of the reasons why we're so sucked into the Grey's universe is because we're yearning for
something
hungry,
bad to happen,
because that's what keeps us. The reasons why this show has succeeded is because we're always rooting for the hero. There's always a hero on Grey. Someone dies, someone saves. There's always a happy ending after the end of the world, Well,
and I would like to see it come out perfect, because that's what nobody's expecting. We're expecting it to come out like something wrong. And if it doesn't, I think that would be a bigger twist, because this is gonna be fine. So so every time we watch, is the kid gonna die today? Is the kid gonna die today? What's gonna happen?
Right.
I think it would kind of like build to that.
Sure. April, Dr. Kepner, this episode again.
Going to the carnival.
We're back on the whole corruption of, the good Christian boy, and I wish she would just own her sexuality and just be like, listen, I love the pogo stick. I want to jump on it all day and keep it moving.
You didn't like Meredith's analogy? Maybe this was God's plan.
I loved it. You didn't like, sorry, you were kind of offended.
No, God's plan is not for you to just push the guy that's waiting for marriage to have sex. Like, of course that's not God's plan. Of course not.
Wow, you feel really strongly about that.
No, and the analogy of the carnival, I did not like that. I don't know what it should have been, but the carnival, I don't know.
You think it's a carnival ride?
Carnival ride, maybe like
the tilt-a-whirl. Is that what she used? And
really, Kellie?
That's what she said. She said it on the show.
The yo-yo.
Yeah, but maybe I want to. It's like having a tattoo. Let's do it this way. If you have one, you always want more. Okay, so she already had some of the good pogo stick, and
There you
now
go.
she definitely wants more.
She
I know,
wants
it
a
might be a
whole-
little
Duh.
bit more fun to ride a carnival ride than get a tattoo.
She wants a
She's
whole
like-
Toys R Us full of pogo sticks. You know?
Yes,
But
she
it's so
does.
funny. Like, she gets so heated about it when she talks about it.
I could tell I don't know if she wanted him back, Avery back,
She
or
does.
what, but
When people are passionate about something, it's because there's truth in it. There's truth in their convictions, and they feel strongly. If you feel strongly about something, that means that you care and you want to see some kind of result. If when you're indifferent, you're indifferent. Obviously, April needs to get laid.
she needs to get
Well,
laid.
she's very attracted to him, and now she knows what it's like to go that to go that far.
She bit the apple.
Yeah, now she's looking at him like he's this beautiful thing, and that's what she kind of says. Why would God make this beautiful thing, and then you can't have it, and all of that? And she's struggling with that. And now she can I think it's interesting because now she can see it from Avery's point of view.
Right.
When she was the one holding out and all of that, kind of what his struggle might have been.
That's
You know what I
totally
mean?
true. Yeah.
So maybe now she can relate a little bit more to him and understand what was going on there because now she's experiencing herself.
Yeah, April, and her hair looked great this week too.
Oh no, it did. It
Yeah.
really
Oh
did.
yes,
It was
she
very-
had
it
that
was very
flowy,
romantic.
romantic.
It was
Yes.
romantic hair. So going back to the patient,
Which one?
the one that has the terminal gallbladder cancer.
Okay, it sucked.
Yeah, it sucked, and
Don't say it sucked.
no, it did really. No, the storyline didn't suck. Her having cancer sucked. It's almost like Grey's like, hey, pick your cancer. Which one do you want this week? Hodgkin's lymphoma. You know, go with it. But she, Meredith, I always try to identify and try to put myself in the place of the doctors because these people are delivering basically a death sentence saying you're terminal. And the way they go about it, the way Meredith was just, they're just so put together, and it just blows my mind how they don't show any emotion themselves. Do you think that's because they're so used to handing death sentences on to patients, or well, I mean,
They're so used to handing out death sentences.
Yeah. But you
They're-
remember in the very beginning, it wasn't always like that. It was a struggle, and they had to learn how to separate. And I remember they spent a little bit of time on it in the early seasons to have to separate yourself from the patient, from a personal relationship with the patient. And it goes back to the whole Denny and
Sure.
that whole situation.
Could you, Kelly? Could you if you were a doctor?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I
what about you,
don't. That's
Starr?
why I couldn't be a
No,
doctor.
I
No.
cried last week. Okay, like
I cried in this. I teared up when the teacher was telling the kids she wasn't coming back. I mean, I could never.
yeah,
Like, I could
no.
never.
I think I could. I think I'm cold.
You kind of are. I could see
could be
you be
like-
a doctor and be like, you're gonna die.
I'm like,
I'm
Tomorrow.
really sorry.
No
but it's-
biggie though.
No.
Today's
No
just
biggie.
not your day.
It's a wrap on you, dog. You got you're gonna expire in about 6 months. I suggest, I don't know, go do something real cool, real quick. Here, let me write you a prescription for something real strong. When the kids came in and we're talking to teacher and stuff. I had a teacher who died in 4th grade. My 4th grade teacher died in a car accident. And when you're that young, the adults in your life are so important, and are so crucial to your existence. It's not, you don't really like. I was such a sensitive little kid. I would cry all the time because I had I sat at the mean girls table, which we call it, where all the friends were really hateful, and I was the nerd. So I wanted to belong so bad that I just put up with all the drama. So one day they kicked me off the table.
Ooh, you got booted.
I got booted. All 5 of them were like, "You got to go."
Is that why you're so cold now?
Yeah, probably. And I had acne at 9, so I mean,
Oh.
yeah. God, what a horrible childhood. But
Well, look how gorgeous you are
I know.
now.
See, God, it's an ugly duckling syndrome. But the thing is, this teacher was so comforting and was so it's gonna be okay. Don't worry. It was so that's safety you needed. And so when she died, it was like. And you don't grasp death that young.
Oh, no.
All you grasp is that your friend's not coming back.
Yeah.
And you grasp the feelings you had that for me, that safety I had with that teacher. So watching those kids tonight talk to their teacher took me back to that whole thing. And it was very sad for me in the sense that they're losing someone they love. You love your teachers. You couldn't wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially I had a teacher that I absolutely loved, and where my mom was friends with her, and it was a whole thing, and
Yeah.
I knew her for years, and it's you form a bond with certain people, and that was a touching thing for me to watch. And
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I think everyone has had death that they had to deal with. Of course, I also had a teacher that passed away. He was my French teacher, Mr. Abercrombie. We miss you. His name was awesome, and he was a great teacher, and he let me skip class all the time to go to Burger King, and he never told my mom. But anyways, with that being said, like, you do have compassion, and as a kid, you do know young that you care about someone, and you have to learn at a young age that death is a part of life, and that's just how it is. And you know, that storyline was really cute, how she was like, don't say it sucked, you know, and then she realized, like, this suck.
Sucks.
I have cancer, you know, and I might not be coming back to finish out the year, so how can we, you know, make this year better for you? And they were like, maybe we can give the new substitute a breath mint. Like, I love that part.
It's so cute because they're such kids. Like,
Yeah.
they don't even really understand the depth
Right.
of what's happening. And
Yeah.
it's to keep it light, and she tries to do that. And I thought that was kind of cute. And it's a little different than your average somebody's, like, bleeding on the table and it's a whole thing. You know, it was a little bit different.
The girl who got hit by another biker that had she survived.
Yeah,
they don't know to what capacity she'll be able to regain her
Right.
lifestyle back or the way she was before, but she's going to be okay. The dad was going to go through it, but Derek swooped in and look, dude, calm down, fall back.
He was like shaking him, put his hand up against the wall, and like backed him in a
And
corner.
his hair
and he was
stayed
like,
in place. And then,
of course it did.
and then he hugged him, and you could tell, and
Was there an embrace?
there
Yeah.
was, and Derek kind of, did he tear up too?
I think he did a little bit, and I think that's going because he's about to be a dad, and
He is a
to have, you know, those emotions.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To see what this guy's going through. I mean, I can't imagine. I know how I get with my dog. I can't imagine how it would be if I, like, had a child.
What kind of dog do you have, Kel?
I have a cute little rescue. I think she's a poodle mix with a terrier or something.
Sweet.
We
What's her
don't
name?
know yet. Her name is Tamale.
Tamale? Oh, that's cute. I have
We
a
rescued her
snake.
from
A
Tijuana.
I have a
snake.
snake
Do you?
named Lucky.
Oh.
I rescued a cat last night.
I know you did.
I did.
We have issues, yo.
Yeah. I don't know how we just got on that.
I know. Sorry.
Hey, you guys, go to iTunes, rate us, leave us comments, and tell all your friends about the Grey's Anatomy After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. We love hearing what you guys have to say, even if it's bad or good. We'll reach out. We'll reach back out. Let us know what you like. Let us know if there's any information that we're not hitting on here, stuff that we don't know about Grey's that you may have the insight on. We love to hear that stuff too. Leave us some comments as well as rate us. Give us 5 stars. Keep the
5.
lights on here, and we'll definitely give you some shout outs. We have a lot of cool followers on YouTube, a lot of cool followers on
Twitter.
on Twitter. Whereas GT is like every morning.
She's like,
On it.
who's going to be the godmother
Right.
or the godparents of Zoila? Remember that happened this morning?
Totally. And I wake up afterwards. I wake up to tweets with, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and Star's already tweeting with people. I'm like, what world is this? But no, you know, people wanted to know who was Zola's godmother, and I think it was Yang. Corinne Mahaney at CMCSED9 on Twitter. Hey, we love you. Thanks for watching. She was wondering who the hell is Zola's godparents, and it was Yang.
Yes.
It was Yang. Right. I watched the episode. Yang was the chosen one, and because she said, well, if you guys die, I will be a great godparent.
Yeah.
So there you go. So please rate us. Thank you.
Thank you.
iTunes. There you go. There you go.
Bam.
So the end of the episode of, really, it was an uneventful episode.
Yeah, it was. We found out it was a boy.
It was a boy.
Bam.
Mary's having a boy because she thought it was 6 fingers.
She
5
counted the fingers and toes.
Yeah.
And a pee-pee.
And it was a penis. They needed to have a boy. If they would have had a girl, it would have been weird.
No, well, they have a girl, so they have to have a boy. They need to balance it out. And I think we predicted that they were going to have a boy.
Well, and
Last week.
And I also know the name of what the boy is going to be.
Mark.
Right. Mark Derek Shepard Jr.
How do you know that?
I don't know.
Okay. I was like, they didn't reveal that.
No, we're totally making it up. But
It's going to be
Mark.
George, Thatcher, Mark, every point that's
It
died.
could be,
Oh my
yes.
Yeah. Teddy,
Horrible.
Izzy.
Teddy's on NCIS now. Good for
I know,
her.
good for her. See, she didn't miss a beat. Loretta Devine, client list.
I know.
They get them checks.
Yeah, and
Let
Avery.
me say, Loretta Devine looks great. I saw her like the other night at the ArcLight. She
Yeah,
looks good.
she's good. Black don't crack.
That's right. That's right. And then Avery's doing really well with the hospital, but that's kind of boring. I want him to mess up, right?
Well, back to the filler episodes. I think these are all in prep. Every season, I can't say every season's had filler episodes because the first 6 seasons had very few filler episodes, and they were chock full of so many good storylines and a lot of
Something
cool
was new
stuff.
every week.
Well, they're no longer doing the crossover events because Private Practice has ended its run. So
I don't know if I love those.
I didn't feel
but
those
I
either.
didn't really like those either, but
No.
I think it just because there's so many more new characters and
Elements.
storylines to go than we had before, and I think that's what's kind of making it a need maybe for these little filler episodes, so we have just so much to pay attention to.
Right, and the season finale's coming up in a couple of weeks, well, about a month and a half, you know. So they have to.
We got to start reeling it in.
Yeah.
Yes, because we got to start getting towards that finale.
Right, because if it's more of this, then I don't know if I want to be excited for it. Because every finale has been the talk on Entertainment Weekly the next day. Grey's finale.
I know.
Every single year has been.
We cannot have another big disaster, though.
It has to be. They're used to it.
I love the shooting.
That was the one I couldn't sleep that night, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like,
so good.
I'm a nurse.
Online the next day, it was the most talked about thing.
No, that was crazy.
That's beautiful writing.
But I just.
I know, Kelly. Change is good. Change is good. I think.
I mean, it will absolutely have to be something crazy, of course.
They're gonna lose the hospital. Dun dun dun.
But you know, the end of season 7, it wasn't crazy. Meredith was just alone in her hospital with Zola.
Yeah.
So,
but that was still.
That was boring.
It was just different because we've been conditioned to want the sensational, the salacious.
Yes.
We're conditioned to want the utmost, horrifying, grotesque.
So feed me what I'm conditioned to.
But I think that in order to give this show depth and to make it that much more credible, they have to veer from that. It's just like True Blood. We watch True Blood every season, same thing over and over again. Sookie, Bill, Sookie, but Bill, I'm a fairy, Bill. Eric Northman, what? Pam, you're a bitch. What?
Oh, it's coming back. I can't wait.
It's the same thing every year. So I think Shonda writes the finale first and then writes the backwards.
Goes backward. I didn't know that.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
She's a freak of nature.
I know.
Shonda
I like
is a
her.
freak of nature.
So
I'm hoping that the finale will be something else, and we're also gonna have some more Grey's stars back in the studios to talk towards the end of the season as well. Have Jerrica Hinton back as well as Sarah Drew. So it's going to be good. Good stuff. Well, there you guys have it. Let's move on to predictions.
Sounds good.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Starr, I want you to give me your most far-fetched prediction, because we've had some pretty far-fetched ones that have actually come to fruition on the show.
That's true.
So what do you think is going down?
Well, next week there's going to be some things that are happening, and it's going to be coming from real life events. That's what they were like, dun dun dun. So I definitely think that there's going to be something kind of crazy that's going to happen next week that's going to reel us back in. And I think there's going to be bad sex with Kepner and her boyfriend, and she's going to have sex with him, and then she's going to want to go back to Avery because he's not going to know what he's doing in bed, and that's going to be the bad sex, right? And then there is going to be something bad that's going to happen to the baby. I already predicted that as well. And I think next week's going to be a better episode is what I'm going to predict.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Bam.
Kel?
I agree. I think about the same. There's going to be something crazy with the mom and the kid coming in. They're going to run tests, not going to believe there's anything wrong with them. She's going to have to fight. I think I vaguely remember a story like that being in the news. And maybe, what the new machine is not going to work right. All these millions of dollars or something crazy. But I really don't want anything to be wrong with the baby, but there probably will be.
Yeah. It's from real life events. There has to be something wrong, or the story wouldn't be that great to be inside the show.
Yeah, so it's, I don't want to see little kids hurt, but we'll see.
I don't think anything's gonna be wrong with the baby. I think they're gonna let that one ride. I think they're gonna let the baby be the happy. Meredith gets her happy with the baby. It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be wonderful.
Yeah.
Because she's had a miscarriage.
I know. I don't want there to be anything wrong, but
we'll see.
I do think we're not done with the whole Avery Foundation buying the hospital and what's going on. I think there's something brewing underneath there with Catherine. Maybe they might fire someone, get rid of somebody. Something's gonna happen. It's just it's like a nice. It's too nice. It's too. Everything's going too well. I mean, God forbid that people be happy in Seattle, Grace Mercy West, Grace Sloan Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, Catherine's gonna come back with a tighter suit, and she's gonna be a little bit more crazy.
Right, and that they're gonna bring in all new people. It's just power tripping's gonna happen. That's the only thing I can think about. Nothing on the relationship front. I think it's more of like a play for power, because tonight we saw Yang pulling rank like, I am your boss. You will not get any money. You will never get another whiff of this. So I really feel that that's where it's gonna go. But I don't think anything super drastic is gonna happen until we get towards the end.
No, you don't think next week's gonna be the one that's gonna be like, we're getting close to the final?
Because week over week the preview is like, And we're like,
They're like, nothing's gonna happen.
wah, wah, wah.
Well, hopefully it'll be a little more, you
Kellie,
know.
you're so positive.
I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta have one of those.
Well,
Well,
after,
since Julie's not here, I have to be the positive
Yeah, you like
one.
took her role. I love it.
I
That's so
know.
funny.
Julie. And Julie will be back next week. We miss you, Julie. She's actually doing some other hosting work tonight.
Bam.
Well, AfterBuzzers, there you go. Another wonderful Grey's Anatomy after show here on AfterBuzz TV. Until next time, I am Jason J. Carter. You can find me on Twitter at JJCForever, also on the Triple Dub Show fan page, and here on AfterBuzz.com.
That's right.
And you can find me at Kellie with an IE 079.
Yeah, and I'm Starr Session, StarR. You can find me on Twitter at Starr Session, and don't forget to follow our fan page, Triple Dub Show. Do it right now.
Until next week, you guys. Bye.
Peace out.
Bye.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
See you later.